Good morning, Davison. Thank you. So do you. What? Well, once we are given the go-ahead, there will be a dialogue between the timpani and these robotically operated bells.
Great.
That Nick is handling.
Okay.
The singers are going to be up on the balcony to start, and one by one, sort of additively, Carrie will begin singing, then Virginia, then a third, and then a fourth, and then me. Chris Rose is positioned over there with the trumpet, John Kirk, and a flute player over here.
Singers are all at the back.
Singers are all at the back.
Great, I have lights up there.
We're going to start descending slowly, and then move to the top of the aisle, and then make our way to the front, singing blah blah blah, and then we get here, fade out, and then we do a final song with everybody that's positioned here. So everyone will wind up at this spot.
And if we're here on this side, nothing over there. Okay, great, thanks.
I heard. Okay. He's gonna signal Michael. What was that? No, or that Michael will get a signal from one of you. Or Michael will give us his thumbs up that he's ready, and then we'll start. Okay. Totally. Absolutely. Matt, yeah, exactly. Okay. Sounds good.
Maybe a little vocal warm-up?
Yeah, good idea.
Can you lead that?
Sure. We're going to the dressing room? Okay.
You want to do green room or?
Yeah. We'll do it in the dressing room. Come this way.
How's it going? Good. You running the show yet? Yeah. I mean, I heard it. It's a sound. My ears took a moment to hear Nicole had to step out. I was here, I think, 3 times over the summer, so how much time away was it? It wasn't. No, I immediately after graduation went to high school. So I less than a month. I always say it was weird. It was a music thing. So that was there's stuff like that level of, higher, and that was immersive, and then I could swim and so much stuff going on. And, a friend just took a walk down something called the High Line. So you know about that? So then we found a new place to eat. It's like, there's no little beach. And because man had beach. I was like, what? It's just like, what year are you in? And it was so this will be, well, sounds coming through. This is a lot of
Sometimes you get trouble. Sometimes it's yeah, man, this one had Oh, did you? Oh, it's like a venue.
Yeah, it's a venue.
Oh, studio. So you feel like, oh, it has to be really great.
Yes. It's like you're inside the set. It's crazy. They have these demos where like yeah, it's like
Yeah, Cal actually used to go there.
there's a reason
Yeah. Yeah. And usually costs $10,000 for each ticket.
do you know the Fresh Grass Foundation? It's like a bluegrass. So it's also like a foundation. And it's owned by this really rich guy. I get where his son started. And I think his son is like his best friend. His owner. And so this studio is kind of a confluence of those two. It's definitely
Yeah, I really the live sounds so much better. I'm into the also. I'm over that. It is a thrill.
There was this one time I was mixing for this
Brought my earplugs this time. Smart. Wait, I should have. Just like. Yeah.
and I was first, but at least I knew what it was. It's such a wrecking cluster. It's crazy that.
It's hard to control both sides.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
Or just the organ.
And the recording they just I think that's what they're trying to do. That's what she said.
yeah, like Mariah Carey.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Like so you don't need to lug everything up.
Because it's got to be like set up for
You need to just step in and then just start flowing.
so you can pitch back.
The problem is financial. When everybody can use something, it starts to. Yeah.
Oh, I got a lot from my ear.
There needs to be like in the past there's been like a student shop that's been studio maintenance.
There is.
Yeah. And so I think it would be great to use guitar strings.
Oh, you know what? I'll look into it just yeah, because
I mean, it's easy back when you put into it.
what about the amps? Like the
it's partly for my assistants. And I was also just kind of practicing a bunch of stuff. Though I didn't technically do a lot more, and I got a lot of stuff done. No, not far, but I have a lot of family involved. There's a lot of interesting. There's some things I want like okay. Ready? Oh right, yes. You said this.
I know, you wanted more coffee.
You wanted like solidity.
What? Yeah, I think I understand.
And I think I'm so excited. That's fair.
Yeah.
It's a little bit presumptuous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These aren't on. Oh. Not a good way to check. These aren't on, right? Hello.
That's on. God damn it, Rizzo.
Why'd you do that to me?
I was joking.
Oh. Well, it's my hot mics.
Hot mics.
Yeah.
up to the top.
See ya.
No, you're right. No, you're right.
I don't think we've met. What's your first name? Oh, Christian. Oh, you
gördün mü ay meclisi şahane. Ay 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 canlar. Aşkı yalla Allah. Bu sefer uzun yalla. Canlı gule yanıyor yansın. Yosman salla. Aşkı yalla Allah. Bu sefer uzun yalla. Canlı gule yanıyor yansın. Yosman salla. Salla salla. Gülmeleri çalarsın. Salla salla. Yerinde oynarsın. Salla salla. Gülmeleri çalarsın. Salla salla. Yerinde oynarsın.
Bugün talan çayıdır, yer kimeren bayidir.
Ay 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 canlar.
Sınkı bir çevir akas, bu anın yanıdır.
Ay 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 canlar.
Aşk yılıyla Allah, bir tepe bir zila Allah. Cihanda boylu gönü yarı yansın.
Yosman salla.
Aşk yılıyla Allah, bir tepe bir zila Allah. Cihanda boylu gönü yarı yansın.
Yosman salla.
Salla,
Salla salla gülmeler çalarsın.
salla,
Salla
salla,
salla yeniden oynarsın. Salla salla gülmeler çalarsın. Salla salla yeniden oynarsın. Salla salla gülmeler çalarsın. Salla salla yerine oynarsın.
salla, salla,
Salla gülmeler çalarsın.
salla,
Salla salla yerine oynarsın. Salla salla gülmeler çalarsın. Salla salla yerine oynarsın.
salla,
Salla gülmeler çalarsın.
salla,
Salla yerine oynarsın. Salla.
What a wonderful way to begin the year. Thank you to members of our music faculty, Joseph Alpar, Kristen Amigo, Nick Brook, Virginia Kelsey, John Kirk, Carrie Ryer Parker, and Michael Wimberly. Thanks to faculty music fellow. You were amazing. Thanks to faculty music fellow Chris Rose and the amazingly talented students from the Bennington Middle Eastern Ensemble. Thank you so much. What a way to begin a year on the most beautiful day in September. Good morning, I'm Laura Walker, and I'm the president of Bennington College. Thank you. It is my privilege to welcome you to Bennington's 93rd Convocation. As we gather for the first day of this academic year, we acknowledge that Bennington, Vermont is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Abenaki and Mohican people. We honor the land and the people who have been its stewards through the generations. To those joining Bennington for the first time, welcome to Bennington. For everyone else, welcome back. I'd like to begin today by thanking the people at Bennington who have worked tirelessly to prepare for this academic year. Our buildings and grounds and dining services employees, our student life team, counseling team, enrollment, academic services, and communication staff members for welcoming all of you. Our IT staff and campus safety team for keeping us connected and safe. Our institutional advancement, human resources, administrative staff, and wonderful academic service guides. Thank you, and especially to our brilliant, creative, and dedicated faculty. As this is my final convocation as president of Bennington, I want to just say a special thank you to all of you for your extraordinary dedication and your collaboration. It has been a deep privilege to lead this college for the last 5 years, and I will be here through the end of the term and working beyond because I love this college, and I will do anything I can to make it strong. Thank you. At every Bennington convocation and commencement since our founding, the president reads the Bennington commencement statement. It lays out the principles upon which this vanguard institution was built over 90 years ago and to which we still ardently adhere. These are the same principles that grew a trailblazing women's college, the first liberal arts college that put the arts at the center of the curriculum, into the dynamic, co-ed, diverse community we are today. I am honored to share it with you now. Bennington regards education as a sensual and ethical, no less than an intellectual process. It seeks to liberate and nurture the individuality, the creative intelligence, and the ethical and aesthetic sensibility of its students, to the end that their richly varied natural endowments will be directed towards self-fulfillment and toward constructive social purposes. We believe that these educational goals are best served by demanding of our students active participation in the planning of their own programs and in the regulation of their own lives on campus. Student freedom is not the absence of restraint, however. It is rather the fullest possible substitution of habits of self-restraint for restraint imposed by others. The exercise of student freedom is the very condition of a meaningful education and an essential aspect of the nurture of free citizens, dedicated to civilized values and capable of creative and constructive membership in modern society. Those words, written 93 years ago, are still so valuable today. They mean so much, and they will bring this institution into the next 100 years. They're not merely lofty abstractions. You, faculty, staff, and most importantly, students, you're creating lives guided by these principles. You are artists, scientists, activists, historians, and innovators building a better world. I am honored to do this work alongside you. Today marks a mindful beginning on a beautiful day in a somewhat tortured world. We are witnessing extraordinary velocity of change, attacks on higher education, war, famine, the perils of climate change, tragic school shootings. But Bennington is an oasis, and it's an oasis that you have chosen. You have chosen to study here, to work here, to teach and practice here. Here we get strength, here we learn, here we understand how we can make an impact in this world. Only 5% of students entering college right now are attending a liberal arts college. You are here because you have a fearlessness and a ferocity of intellectual curiosity and restless creativity in search of finding your own voice. Melissa Rosenberg, I don't know whether anyone knows Melissa Rosenberg, she was class of '87. She's an amazing woman. She is the screenwriter of the Twilight series. Does everyone know the Twilight series? Creator of Netflix's Jessica Jones, and she's also a member of the board of trustees. She She said about Bennington, it's all about learning by doing, finding your original voice and collaborating, being oneself in the world, expressing one's point of view, and learning how to self-realize, how to take an idea, any idea, and make it happen. How to take an idea, any idea, and make it happen. At Bennington, we don't just talk about ideas, we build them, we test them, we put them in practice, we perform them. Here you will amass all the things you need to create, theoretical underpinnings and readings, the writings, art, music, and performances, practice and improvisation, the wonderful, wonderful faculty mentors that are going to be with you at your side, challenging you and supporting you. And crucially, you have the time here, time to discover who you are and what only you can contribute. That is what Bennington offers you, the chance to make yourself seriously as a thinker, a collaborator, and a maker. Use this opportunity. Stay in the studio for hours, considering different angles of light in your drawing or alternative endings to a chapter. Ask yourself what you want to say. Many of our alumni have done just that. They came to Bennington just like you in search of their own voice. River Valdez, a class of 20, a designer, ceramicist, and glassblower, said, "My time at Bennington was completely idyllic. I loved that I could be around this beautiful landscape and think for myself. I was, in a good way, forced to focus on what was in my own head. They were curious." Sophia Sinclair, class of 2010, author of the memoir How to Say Babylon, a National Book Critics Circle Award winner, and one of the most notable books of the year, according to the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Atlantic, and Time magazine. She said, "Great literature faculty members at Bennington expanded what I was reading and the possibilities of what kind of poet I could be. That really gave me the tools to begin writing the poems that set me on my way, publishing my first book." They learn by doing. Carlos Mendez Durantes, class of 2015, now the Jane Coffin Childs Research Fellow at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute at Harvard Medical School, reflected, "I didn't just learn science from textbooks or in lectures. At Bennington, I learned science by performing experiments and reading literature. In other words, working as a professional scientist. When I graduated, I didn't just have a degree, I had co-author credits in 4 scientific publications." He's learning by doing. They found a community. Dylan Thuris, class of 2004, is the co-founder of the wonderful site Atlas Obscura. "When I run into anyone who has gone to Bennington," he said, "it's an instant sense of connection and understanding. One of the great gifts of Bennington is this community that follows you through your whole life." And they found a way to move through the world and to change the world. Brian Rogers, class of 1995, co-founded the Chocolate Factory Theater in New York City, a home for adventurous performance, and he described what Bennington gave to him. "The largest life lesson I got from attending Bennington was the sense of possibility, that one could make a life in the arts in a quirky and independent way. That is what a Bennington education looks like. It's not abstract, it's lived, it's tested, it's learning by doing, it's yours. In the coming weeks and years, you'll question your assumptions, you'll find unexpected mentors, and if you're doing it right, you'll likely fail a few times. But from that failure, you'll learn to persist and to be resilient, you'll learn to get up again, and you'll learn to trust yourself. That's the work of self-realization and the realization of bold ideas. They are not abstract goals, but rather a daily practice, a creative and mindful ritual. Your time here will require initiative, responsibility, creativity, moral courage, humility, kindness, and a form of self-reliance that is also supported by ongoing self-reflection. As Melissa Rosenberg said, "Go now, take an idea, any idea, and make it happen. Take the fundamental idea of a Bennington education and make it yours. Infuse this place with your vibrant creativity, extraordinary performances, deep self-reflection, and joyful collaboration. We can't wait to see what you make of this place and what you make of yourself." Thank you. Now, it is my great, great pleasure to introduce our student speaker, Blue Mahari. Yay! Blue is a poet. Blue is a poet and student studying literature and history. She was a finalist for the Adroit Prize in Poetry, a Pushcart nominee, as well as a recipient of Bennington's Ben Bellett Undergraduate Writing and Academy of American Poets prizes. Blue, come on up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Laura, for that introduction. Hello, everyone, and welcome, welcome to Convocation. It's my pleasure to help begin the school year, and of course, thank you so much for having me. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Blue Mahari. I'm a 7th term senior, and I'm thrilled to be serving as this year's Student Educational Policies Committee President. More importantly, a warm welcome to the class of 2029. While 2029 doesn't sound like a real year to me, and to be honest, mostly reminds me of my fleeting youth, it's a privilege to be among those welcoming you to campus. In writing this speech, I spent a lot of time thinking over my own early days at Bennington, of which I've forgotten almost everything, including, awkwardly enough, the student speaker at my own freshman convocation, as well as the entirety of their speech, though I can still recall standing outside the back door of my house for an embarrassing amount of time because I didn't know we were meant to use our IDs to get in. So I guess that's what my brain decided to prioritize. A little about me, I'm from Vegas and graduated from a science and math high school, which when compared to my life now, makes it difficult to believe I'm on the same plane of existence as I was 4 years ago. Bennington was only an idea to me when I applied, little more than a brochure, a dot on the green sliver of Vermont, until I flew across the country for my freshman year. My first few days, I was constantly shocked by such New England peculiarities as the existence of weather, how dark the night gets without extreme light pollution, what grass looks like when it's alive, and the texture of snow. That, for the record, was a vicious disappointment. I thought it would be softer. But what drew me in was that I also met some of the most dedicated, distinct people I've ever had the joy of knowing. At a time when higher ed is being dismantled, where funding for the humanities diminishes day by day, I feel exceptionally lucky to be here with you all. Freshmen, luxuriate in these next few weeks. Dining hall food will never taste better than it does right now. And the energy you have to commit to absurd group outings and weekend parties is more than you will ever have again. If you remember a single piece of advice first years, let it be that this school is quite literally what you make it. That Bennington is almost totally subject to the wills of its students, the community you choose to invent, and what keeps it alive are the people that form its clubs, teach and attend its classes, and put on its performances. What you give it, it will give to you. Take part, and I think you'll all fit in just fine. Thank you. Please join me in welcoming this year's staff speaker, Shay Totten, Bennington's Director of Alumni and Constituent Engagement, and a member of the Bennington College class of 1991. Before joining Bennington 1 year ago, Shay spent his career as a writer, primarily as a journalist at local and statewide newspapers in Vermont, as well as for national startup journalism projects and think tanks such as McClatchy News and Google News Initiative Collaboration, as well as the American Press Institute. He also dabbled in communications and marketing, community organizing, and book publishing. While at Bennington, he studied literature, creative writing, French literature, and ceramics. He served as a house chair and as a liaison between house chairs and student government and the administration.
Thank you, Blue. And just want to say, if you remember one speech from today, remember Blue's speech, because quite frankly, just hearing those words and like what I'll talk to you about is a little bit of the same thing. But I'm just really excited to be here and welcome you to the start of your Bennington journey, or the continuation, and the way that you're writing your own Bennington story. As Blue said, I'm class of 91. So unlike her, like, I don't see how my youth, I don't have fleeting youth. I have like very much like rear view mirror and like feeling old, looking at like seeing 2029 as like the next class. My youngest son is graduating this coming year from a different college, which we'll get to later. But the most recent chapter in my Bennington story started last year, in fact, last September, almost a year ago. It was a week after classes, and I started my role here at the college as Director of Alumni and Constituent Engagement. And one of the things I've been really working on this past year is to work hard to keep alumni connected to each other, right, as well as to the college. But the most important part is to get them connected to really the best part of this place, which is you, right now. Like, the students make this place, always have, and always will. And that's really what I want you to sort of remember. Like, this place, this campus is your canvas to kind of make something of it. And it's what we did when we were here. It's what I've seen since coming back here. One of the best things is to see what you all do with this place and to then communicate that back to the alumni to say, see, like, we're still making it here, right? We're still doing the things that we do as Bennington students. And you're always a Bennington student. Bennington stays with you, whether you like it or not, once you've been here for a very long time. For me, I like it a lot. But I don't remember just last year, because it was basically in 1986, on pretty much the same day, I arrived at Bennington just after turning 18. So there was my fleeting youth, the start of it. And I met my roommate for the first time. We both were we had never met in person. In fact, we didn't have video chats or anything. So we'd exchanged a couple of letters and had one phone call. He was from Iowa. I was from upstate Vermont. We both came to Bennington to be writers. So whether it was the loud punk rock music at all hours, the half pipe we built inside our house, or the kiddie pool that we had in our room with beach sand, our time at Fells was short-lived. So we were moved into Booth House, which at the time was the loud house on campus. It was the party house. But while I was there, that's where I found the people who I continue to this day to exchange text messages with, phone calls, video chats, get together with. Like, they are still my community and my closest friends. And I wish that for you as well. Because throughout the time since we left Bennington, we've made art together, we've hosted poetry readings, we've attended other people's art openings, concerts, as well as celebrated milestones, and of course, given my age, we've mourned the death of classmates. And we do this as a community, as a family, that, quite frankly, I don't think it's hard to express to other alumni what Bennington means to us, because really it means so much that it's hard to sort of just simply sort of communicate. But as Laura mentioned, one of the Atlas Obscura founder, when you meet another Bennington alum or a student in the wild, like, there's a conversation point where you just don't have to, you start from, where you don't have to reinvent and do all the basic stuff. It's like you start at a level of understanding, no matter what year you went here. Last year we did an event in the Bay Area, and we had alumni from the 60s to more recent graduates, as well as current students. And I have to say, the level of conversation amongst all of them was as if they were all taking classes currently. It's just rather remarkable, and I want you to sort of, it's hard to think about that now when you're just arriving here, you're just getting started, to sort of see that. But I want you to know that it exists for you out there. And Bennington is a special place for me and for my family. My spouse is also an alum. In fact, we met at Bennington. And after we graduated, we got married in North Bennington, just over the hill. And we had about 30 or more alumni of our friends at our side at the wedding. One of our kids did attend Bennington. Another got accepted but chose to go elsewhere. We still like him. And I say this not to be indulgent or an attempt to out Bennington anyone, especially not in this room, because I know there are others who have equally robust Bennington connection stories. But I want you to give you a glimpse of just what mine is. Because right now, as I look out at you, I see that you're creating yours right now in this magical little corner of the world. And I just want to say I'm so glad that you found Bennington and that Bennington found you. Because that's what it seems like. Bennington found us. And we came here, because there was it's not like woo-woo calling, but there is a connection we feel when we make it here. Like, you don't have to even to visit the campus sometimes, but once you step your foot onto this campus, you realize this is the place I was meant to be. And that's why many of us sort of show up here as alum, staff, faculty. We know this is a magical place for you, right? We know what it means to be here. And I just want you to know that there's not just your fellow classmates who are cheering you on, but there's amazing dedicated staff and faculty that are here to support and challenge you, encourage you. And among those staff and faculty, there's other alums too who come back here to work and to support you. And I think that's something that's important to remember, that we do come back here, and there will be a lot of us back here in October when there's an all-class reunion. So we hope that you'll be here to sort of interact with some of those alums, maybe talk about networking, get a job later on in life, because who knows better the Bennington experience and to what you bring to them as an employer than a Bennington alum. So, and as I told some students last year, first-year students last year, is take a moment to sort of, when you look around, when you're in a room like this with all the other Bennington students here, take a look around for a minute. And even though you might not know some of these folks yet, quite frankly, these are the people who are likely to sort of be with you for decades to come to do the kind of important work that you're going to be doing right here for the next 4 years. And I would say, I would echo what Blue said, like, take in every single dance performance. I was not a big fan of dance when I came here, but I had many friends who were dance majors, and I would go to every single one of their performances because, you know what, why not? You know, we're right here, right? It's all closed, like it's right here for us. And the stuff that we're making is pretty amazing. And I'm still, like, being able to sit in on senior performances last year was one of the joys of the spring term. Just seeing the creativity that's happening here still after all these years. Like, you think, oh, Bennington will, like, dull with time, or like the student population is like, the students who are here, you're supposed to be here, and I'm so grateful that you are. So I just want to leave you with a couple of short words here from hopefully they're inspirational, but they're from a dear friend and classmate and somewhat of a hero of mine, Spencer Cox. He died in 2012. He was just 44, and he died due to complication of AIDS. He actually left Bennington, so we came in together. He left Bennington to become an actor and ended up joining up ACT UP in New York City. And as an AIDS activist, he helped spearhead research on protease inhibitors and played a central role in bringing those drugs to market and saving millions of lives. It's just, I want to say, like, if you look up Farewell Spencer Cox, like, just Google it on YouTube, you will watch a 90-second interview with him about from how to survive a plague. It is, I mean, it's still powerful to me, and I mean, knowing him is one thing, but I hope what I give to you is his last little bit of advice. His advice is, you live your life as meaningful as you can make it. You live it, and don't be afraid of who's going to like you or if you're being appropriate. You worry about being kind. You worry about being generous. And if it's not about that, what the hell is it about? So I would say, welcome to Bennington. Good luck to you. Be generous. Be kind. Sorry, now I have to get to the next speaker. So now it's my pleasure to pass the program to Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of Faculty, John Bullock.
Thank you, Shay. Be generous and be kind. If that's all you take away from here today, that's, I think, more than enough. And thank you, Blue, Laura, and especially the wonderful music students and faculty that kicked off this event. Just what a great way to start the year. So thank you all for that. And welcome again to new students, returning students, faculty, and staff. I'm honored to stand before you in this role at this extraordinary institution. It's extraordinary because the people here make it that way. Before you hear from today's faculty speaker, I want to say a few words about the faculty as a whole. This group of people who make Bennington such a dynamic, creative, challenging, and exciting place to be. They are scientists and musicians, writers and philosophers, artists and anthropologists. Many of them are a few of those things simultaneously. Innovators at the interfaces of fields that don't often connect. They are, like our curriculum and our students, relentlessly in motion, ever growing and discovering. That's what we mean by the teacher-practitioner model. The people you learn from are always at work in the world themselves, creating and learning and contributing. Bennington faculty will serve as your mentors and guides in your time here. In formal and informal ways, they will work with you as you navigate your unique path through the plan process. They won't tell you what to do or how to do it, but they will help you discover your distinctive intellectual passions and will guide you toward an education of depth, breadth, and rigor, and most importantly, one that is distinctively and uniquely your own. Until the day you graduate, they will challenge and push you. They will take you seriously in ways that you will only begin to appreciate long after you've left at Bennington. You will receive honest, nuanced feedback from them. The observations and insights your professors will offer about your strengths, habits, and this is a euphemism, opportunities for growth, you know what that's a euphemism for, are a tremendous gift to you. They won't always be easy to hear, but they will make you stronger. Under their guidance, you will identify which problems you want to address in the broader community and the world, what mysteries you feel compelled to explore, and what you want to create that never has been imagined by any other soul. Bennington faculty want, above all, for you to develop an intrinsic understanding of what drives you as an individual, and to work with you to develop the capacities to succeed in that pursuit, while you're here at Bennington and long after. It is humbling to work alongside these great teachers. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce Joseph Alpar, faculty member in music. Joe is Joe, if you don't know him, is an ethnomusicologist and performer whose research centers on musical and religious practices in Turkey and former Ottoman territories. He earned his PhD in ethnomusicology from the City University of New York in 2020. His current book project extends his dissertation research on music and Jewish practice in contemporary Istanbul and centers on transformations in synagogue music and Jewish life within Turkey's evolving political and social landscape. His second book project focuses on the Middle Eastern music scene, music and dance scene in the 1960s and 70s in New York. Joe is also an accomplished, as you saw, multi-instrumentalist and singer of Turkish, Greek, and Western art music. He is a recent recipient of a Whiting Foundation Fellowship, for which he traveled to Greece this summer to study traditional singing practices in several locations. Joe joined the Bennington faculty in fall 2021 and also serves as the curator of the Carriage Barn Music Series, the first event of which is a week from tonight, so put that on your calendars. Joe.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? I'm honored for the opportunity to speak to you today and we welcome our new and returning BA, BFA, and MFA students to another academic year at Bennington. Thank you to Dean of Faculty John Bullock, President Laura Walker, and especially to the many extraordinary members of the Bennington staff who worked so hard to organize today's special event. To my colleagues on the music faculty and staff and our music students who performed this morning, you make me thrilled to come to work every day. Your music, as always, galvanizes us all for another year brimming with creative possibility. To our new students and new core and visiting faculty, let me welcome you on behalf of all of us into this extraordinary school. You are stepping into a place that is at once both a school and a home, a laboratory and a working farm, a studio and a stage. Today you are becoming part of a storied community of scholars, artists, performers, composers, scientists, dancers, choreographers, poets, actors, playwrights, directors, and innovators. We are all excited to spend the next 4 years learning with you. I've been on the faculty here at Bennington College for 6 years. However, I was only 9 years old the first time I set foot on this campus. My mother, Brenda Corman Alpar, is a Bennington grad, class of 1962. She primarily studied music composition and piano, with forays into poetry, visual arts, dance, and theater, a quintessential Bennington student, who went on to have a remarkable and varied career in the arts and education after graduation. When her beloved composition teacher and advisor, Lou Calabro, passed away, we traveled up to Bennington for his memorial concert. A Philly native, I had never been this far north, nor seen such grand green mountains before. The Vermont adventure peaked at the concert that was held right here in Greenwall Auditorium. I remember it vividly. The stage was bursting with percussion instruments of every variety. Legendary free jazz drummer and longtime professor in Bennington's renowned black music division, Milford Graves, performed an explosive, improvised solo set, leaping between gongs, drum set, timpani, and hand percussion, playing and vocalizing with a ferocious virtuosity my 9-year-old self had never experienced before. I remember the choir performing Lou Calabro's own 7 deadly modes, where each movement explored the musical characteristics of the medieval modes. I especially remember the Phrygian mode movement, a playful 2-note conversation between an unassuming fly on the note of E and his predatory neighbor a half step above on F, who turns out to be a black widow spider. There was a wildness and musical adventurousness that day on this stage, and it has stayed with me. I certainly could never predict years later that I would find myself back at Bennington as a faculty member, getting to experience that creative spirit and drive to study, experiment, perform, and improvise every day with my colleagues and students. In the 6 years that I've been at Bennington, surrounded by my esteemed colleagues and talented students, I've become a champion of what it means to teach and learn here. Bennington is a place that insists on learning by doing, creating, on experimenting, and on constantly asking new questions. One of the most rewarding parts of teaching at Bennington is that our students are not bound by a fixed curriculum. At the conservatory where I received my bachelor's degree, my 4 years of study were already mapped out before I began, with barely any wiggle room to take courses outside my major. Rewarding as my education was, it could not make room for me to pursue my other interests, nor to develop other skills. Not so at Bennington. Through the plan process, each of you will chart your own paths, crafting programs of study within and beyond your discipline. Your plan will reflect your evolving interests, burning questions and passions. You'll build new and varied skills, solve a range of problems, and acquire a diversity of perspectives that will prepare you for your lives after Bennington. It's not only the students that have this freedom, though. As faculty, we are also invited to continuously reimagine our teaching, developing courses on recent research, new horizons in our own creative work, and in response to a rapidly changing and volatile world. Someone once said that Bennington faculty teach what keeps us up at night, and as such, our curriculum is ever-changing, buoyant, and alive. Since coming to Bennington, I've had the opportunity to teach 20 original courses, from Introduction to Ethnomusicology, to Muslim and Jewish soundscapes of the Middle East, Monsters, Magic, and Madness in Western Music, and the Anatolian Psychedelic Rock Ensemble, just to name a few. And in true Bennington spirit, I've also been able to reach across disciplines, like teaching of sound and nature alongside my colleague in biology, Blake Jones. I don't know that I would have been encouraged to design and teach such courses, and with such regularity anywhere else. Here it is not only possible, it is encouraged that faculty follow their curiosity, bring their current inspirations into the classroom, and push the boundaries of our disciplines while maintaining the highest rigor within them. At Bennington, I feel precisely at home because there is no expectation that I, or any of us, stay in our intellectual or creative lanes. I am an ethnomusicologist, and for those of you unfamiliar with the term, ethnomusicology takes as its purview, maybe presumptuously, all of the world's musics, which it tends to study through the lens of ethnography. It is the study of the who, what, where, when, and how, but also the why of music. Ethnomusicology isn't just research for me. It is a way of living musically across many traditions, another reason why I feel at home at Bennington. Like so many of my colleagues and students, I wear many hats. As a performer of Turkish and Greek music, a scholar, and also a pianist and singer rooted in Western classical music. Here I can be a teacher practitioner, engaged with the entirety of my musical background, while my exceptional colleagues similarly lead intersecting lives. Composers who are also improvisers, performers who are authors, scholars who are painters. All of us get to share those multiple selves with you as your teachers. And our students mirror that same richness. They are intellectually curious, genuinely excited by ideas, unafraid to dive right into the subject matter and ask questions. Bennington students take chances in the classroom, on the dance floor, in the studio. It is easy and deeply rewarding to carry on substantive conversations with them, to make music in rehearsal and on stage with them. Bennington students are not taking courses to fulfill requirements. They are here because of excitement for and interest in the subject. They take classes because they want to, because they are alive to the possibilities that may emerge from these classes. And just as faculty will get to know you and your work over the next 4 years, so will your classmates. Bennington students are fierce champions of each other's work. I am constantly moved by the sense of mutual support and admiration between our students. You take an active role in each other's creative and academic growth. You provide constructive input and genuine care along the way. To our new students, I and all your faculty at Bennington want this place to feel like your home over these next 4 years. Study the things you excel at, but don't be afraid to take that course that might unsettle you, that might stretch you, that might even redirect your path. Take Nick Brooks' songwriting course, The 5 Obstructions. Take Vanessa Lyons' Toward a Rigorous Art History, or Anina Major's The Hand as a Tool. Take Blake Jones's The Sins of Nature, The Dark Side of Animal Behavior. John Kirk's Traditional Music of North America, Kaulak and Daya's Traditional West African Dance, or Scriptorium Monsters with Camille Guthrie, and Drumming, an Extension of Language with Michael Wimberly. And that's just a drop in the bucket of this curriculum. And if you've ever been interested in the who, what, where, when, and why of music, consider taking an ethnomusicology course with me. You may take a course halfway through your time here that shocks your system and alters your academic focus completely. That is the beauty of the plan. It isn't static. It is a living, flexible document that you will return to and refine as you grow. And while you do, remember to keep creating, inside the classroom and out. In the music discipline, several lasting bands have formed from being in classes together, discovering each other's voices, and deciding to build something new together. That kind of collaborative spirit is electric at Bennington, and it will be yours to carry forward. Take care of yourselves over these next 4 years. Always remember to nurture the things that you are discovering about yourself intellectually, artistically, politically, and personally. It may take some time, but you will find your people, the friends and creative collaborators who will be in your life long after your time at Bennington ends. And as a queer, Turkish, Jewish ethnomusicologist from Philly, I have found my people here at Bennington College, and I am able to be my fullest self here. These 4 years will come with challenges, both academic and personal. New expectations and responsibilities will be asked of you. Different ways of getting your work done will be asked of you. And the continuous attempt to balance a packed schedule of classes, work, extracurricular activities, clubs, and much more. There will be hurdles, moments of self-doubt and despondency. When those moments appear, remember that support is here for you. You aren't alone at Bennington, and we'll find solutions together. Your teachers are here for you too. Ask us questions. Bring us your ideas. Come to office hours. We want you to invest yourself in this community, and we want to invite you to join us in the many spaces where Bennington gathers and makes meaning together. Visual Arts Lecture Series, Poetry at Bennington, the Carriage Barn Music Series, Dance Workshop, SCT and language events, Kappa lectures, science workshop, and, not unselfishly, I hope to see all of you at some point at Music Workshop every Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. And that's just a small sample of what goes on here every day. The opportunities to grow, to learn, and to find your people here are innumerable. We want to see you there. We want you to add your voice to the mix because we know you have much to contribute. Bennington is not a place where you're told where your path will be, what your path will be. It is a place where you will discover how to traverse it. So bring your questions, your passions, your uncertainties. To speak in musical terms, bring the full sound of who you are. Welcome to Bennington. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much. And now, bring your full sound to Bennington, and let's go over to the dining hall for a community lunch. Thank you, everyone.